Hi everybody! Once again, I am Magna Langle, and we are playing Great Ace Attorney because that's the only game I play so far. Um, we're about to jump into the next case. I apologize in advance for one of the accents that's going to occur. I've practiced a little bit, but it may not be the best. So, sorry, I'm really excited to get into it.
In a corner of that small, dark room, Sholmes and I waited with bated breath. In time, there came from the ventilator a hiss and a soft, almost growl-like sound. Suddenly, Sholmes sprang into action, lashing furiously with his cane at a point in the darkness. "You see it, Wilson?" he yelled, his tense voice reverberating through the air. I raised my dark lantern's shutter, and the room slowly came into view. Sholmes was staring intently at one particular corner when he started whispering to me. The victim's most perplexing final words. The speckled band. I believe this is the terrible coil to which she referred, Wilson. In front of us was an enormous adder, its fangs bared as it threatened to strike. It truly was the most terrible speckled band I had ever seen.
Alright. I love those segments. Those segments are so good. I love the voice acting's really good. Oh. Oh. It's not over.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. Pray, do excuse me. The cabin door was bolted from the inside when the man was killed. No marks to suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way. So, this would appear to be a locked room mystery. In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor. Almost certainly with the ink from this upset bottle. A Russian word. So the victim was a Russian man then. And the letters are well formed, suggesting he was compos mentis at the time. This is a most extraordinary script. And evidently not penned by the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality. This paper seal was placed just prior to the incident, by the victim himself, I would venture. Well, what have we here?
Who are you, and what do you think you're doing here?
No one must touch before maritime police come. We must wait.
Shh. That won't be necessary. You see, in less than 5 seconds from now, I will reveal the killer to you.
What? Don't be absurd. This is murder. I need cabin locked from inside.
Ah yes, the locked room. But that mystery is paper thin.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
Who are you, and where have you come from?
I'm a great British consultant detective, the only one in the world. HERLOCK Sholmes. I presume you must have heard of me.
Okay, is that it now? Okay. Here we go, ladies and gents. And others. My head is throbbing. What's going on? Something's not right here. There's trouble in the air. Wait. I can't move. Ah! What the? I do love that he has to pull them up to his head so that he so that he can see, so that he can show the audience that he's handcuffed. That's really good. Why am I in handcuffs? I don't know if I know who this is. So you wake up now. Okay, it's this guy. We had to drag you out of the wardrobe. I'm so sorry. My apologies. I can't. Oh, okay. I do not believe how you could not wake up. You are true cold-blooded man. You... you found me then. Da! We found you. And now you pay, criminal! Let's go. How long are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe? Sorry. Now you have been found. It is time to admit your crimes. I'm so sorry. I hate it. I'm so sorry. Unless you want to find out how cold the ocean is. No, I'll tell you everything. There's only one thing I'd like to know from you. Isn't that... Okay, that was her. Why did you do it? Why did you take his life? Mr. Sato! Wait, what did you just say? Take his life? Where is he? Where's Kazuma? Ha! You pretend you do not know. You are a wolf in the sheep's pelt. You are the killer. Do not try to make excuses. What? Kazuma-sama's body was discovered not long ago. Here, in this very cabin, that was bolted shut from the inside. His body. Please, do not try to tell us you were doing this terrible thing in your sleep. Oh no, I can't laugh. I can't. Kazuma's dead? Okay. I want to take a quick pause, and I want to say I'm sorry. Everybody, I'm sorry. I know it's hard. I especially want to apologize to my friend Cody, who's been watching this, who keeps commenting saying headband guy should be the main character. I'm sorry, Cody. I'm so sorry. It's rough. It's rough, I know. But he can't be. And these handcuffs. Surely you don't think I have to know. Why did you take Kazuma-sama's life? Answer me, please! No. No! Kazuma. Just 2 short weeks ago. Okay, I gotta switch gears real quick. Are you sure about this? Won't we get in trouble? Don't you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how else could you come to England with me to study? That's so funny. He's a stowaway. I love it. It's really something else when they brought your luggage in here earlier, though. The way that Russian crewman just tossed your traveling case onto the floor. I thought I was going to die. Don't say that, Ryunosuke. Oh my god, his eyes. Yes, I still can't quite believe that. Even in death, he's still in character. I'm so sorry. Really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. Must be even less of a man than you look. That's so mean. Oh, that's so mean, but it's honestly a little deserved. Hey, honestly, I thought I'd broken every bone in my body. Well, it's about 50 days until we dock in Great Britain. What if you confine yourself to my cabin here? Don't expect anyone will discover you. Oh, I hope not. Get the feeling those Russians wouldn't be very forgiving of a stowaway. They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure. Yeah, what he said. What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady? From my faithful judicial assistant, Mikatoba, you mean? That's a mouthful. From your close friend, more to the point. Surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? Also, really? Judicial assistant Mikatoba to your close friend? I see how it is. That just means that Ryunosuke is extra close. Don't believe she'd give me away. No, but if she knew what we'd done, that would make her guilty by association. No, it really wouldn't. She would just be complicit, and like, all that they're doing is breaking a ship's rules. Like, they're not breaking the law. Right? That's how that works. I mean, the cops could get called on you. They're just gonna charge you with trespassing. Like, are you complicit in trespassing? It's best that only you and I know about this. Well, I guess it would be illegal immigration, technically, because he doesn't have a, citizenship or anything. Or a, like, you know, student card or whatever. I don't know what they used back then. But yeah. I suppose so. Anyway, it's about the time that the steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin. I know it's cramped, but you'd better get in there, I think. It won't be for long. And anyway, compared to hiding inside my traveling case, it'll be a breeze. Yes, but what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? Then I'll be in for it. Stop worrying. I tell you what, why don't you write to keep out or something on this piece of paper? That'll tell him. It always works. It never makes anyone, it never draws more attention to it, I promise. Never, ever, forever. What? Are you crazy, Kazuma? Then I can stick it over the wardrobe doors once you're inside. I don't know. We've only been at sea for about 15 days. How can this have happened? We were supposed to be going on this adventure to England together. We leave you at next port. Stay quiet until then. Don't make more trouble for yourself. Murderer! No, I'm not a murderer! Da! You said before. You said you admit everything about your crimes. No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away on the ship, but murdering my best friend? No one else could have done it, and that with process of elimination, that means you. Admit the truth. Sato-san. Please, tell me what happened. I need to know. Very well. There's something I would like to ask of you, too. Oh, those eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me. She will. This nightmare is getting worse by the minute. I suppose all I can do is try to find out what really happened. Oh, okay. I need my deodorant. I'm sweating up a storm with this one. And I'm sorry to my friends once again who have, who love Kazuma so much more than they love Ryunosuke, which, like, honestly, I can't blame you. I love Kazuma to death, too. Literally. Oh, no. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was cruel. He really has been killed, hasn't he? This isn't just a bad dream. These handcuffs. They think I did it? They think I'm Kazuma's killer? When they found him, the cabin was locked from the inside. What do you mean? There's no access to the cabin via porthole window, and the bolt on the door can't be operated from the outside. In other words, after the crime, the culprit couldn't have escaped these four walls. What? Or to put it another way, the culprit can only have been somebody inside this cabin. Or do you have some other explanation? This is impossible. How did he die then? What happened exactly? Are you still going to deny the charge, even despite the circumstances? Please, Sato-san, you have to tell me! The cause of death is still undetermined. I don't know how he died. The ship's doctor is still examining the body, but of course he has no post-mortem analysis experience. I don't suppose we shall learn more until an expert has been consulted at our next port of call. So presumably that means there were no obvious external signs of injury then. That's true, yes. Can't anyone tell me what happened here in this cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma? Presumably that's something you know the answer to better than anyone. Please. Whatever you say, you were here in the cabin after all. Well, yes, I was, but... He would always wake before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning. I was waiting outside his cabin, as I have every day so far on this voyage. But this morning he did not come. I could sense that he wouldn't. Does that mean he was already dead when Sato-san arrived at this cabin door, I wonder? I knocked, but there was no reply. Then I started to become worried, so I went to find a member of the crew. The crewman forced the cabin door open, and when we managed to get inside, there was Kazuma-sama, collapsed on the floor. And the white tape there shows exactly where he was found, I suppose. I had no idea anything had happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow. Wish it wasn't the case, but that's just very hard to believe. This is all very hard to believe for me too, trust me. Now I've told you everything that I know. So it's my turn to ask you a question. Yes, alright. My head feels so heavy. It's still throbbing like anything. Oh, okay. No, she's not asking us one question, she's asking us two. And apparently we have to initiate it. Why are you even on board this ship, Naruhodo-san? You said something before about being a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, yes, I'm afraid that's true. It was 2 weeks since we left Japan now, and I've been shut up in this cabin the entire time. Had no idea. But how could you have occupied Kazuma-sama's cabin for so long without him noticing? Oh, honey, you really think that he wasn't part of it? No, that would have been impossible, obviously, idiot. Sorry, he's really upset. Yes, of course. Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together. He actually asked you? But why? I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself. I don't understand. Kazuma, why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why go to such extreme lengths to smuggle me to England with you? It's an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, didn't I? That you ought to become a lawyer yourself. Well, yes, you did say that, but I didn't think you were serious. You have a talent for it. I can assure you of that. But I've never really thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London is at the spearhead of cultural development, the center of the world in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there? Well, no, definitely not. It's on a personal level. If you were to become a lawyer, then what? Nothing. Forget it. And now we'll never know. Kazuma-sama is
He was always saying the same thing. That he wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps he thought that he could do that with you. Yes, maybe. But something's still bothering me a little. The look in his eyes then was darker than I've ever seen it before. Susato-san. I'm sorry that we kept it a secret from you. My stowing away on this ship, I mean. If I know Kazuma-sama, I expect that he was trying to protect me, to avoid me becoming guilty by association.
Look at her go. She's smart. She's big brain.
That's exactly right, yes. Word perfect, in fact. If you're not the culprit, then tell me. What happened last night here in this cabin? Well, the thing is, I don't really remember. Kazuma brought me something to eat, just like he always did. And then I got myself into that wardrobe over there, just like I always did. After that, I fell asleep. Well, yes. So deeply that you didn't even stir when Kazuma-sama was killed? Well, yes. I know it sounds unbelievable. Really, I do. But it's the truth. If only I'd woken up, then perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament.
Okay, you? Perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. Damn, Kazuma might not be dead.
For some reason, my head's still throbbing like anything. Really? Is something wrong? Oh, no, it's... please, forget it. Susato-san, you have to believe me, I didn't do it! I really don't want to doubt you. But the trouble is, there's no one else who could possibly have done this.
Oh, fade to black? Oh, okay.
Kazuma, I don't understand. Why? Why did this have to happen? Ugh! I can't take this. Don't try to go anywhere. You're the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow that to happen.
Okay, sorry, but where the hell is he gonna go? Like, I mean, just saying. Is he gonna throw himself into the ocean? I mean, really.
I'm sorry, but Kazuma was killed right under my nose here, and I didn't do anything to stop it. And now I'm supposed to just sit around, my hands tied, while whoever did this walks free? No! I can't allow that to happen! Well, what do you propose to do then? I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here. I'm going to work out who took Kazuma's life and how and why they did it. So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me. Hiya!
Yeah! Throw him! Oh. Sorry.
What the... That was a Susato takedown.
Oh, I love Susato takedowns.
Susato what? What martial art form is that?
Susato, martial art form.
I'm going to need you to prove it. Sorry? Prove it? Yes, your innocence. I need evidence, even though you just woke up. I need evidence immediately. But how am I supposed to... Have you forgotten already what you achieved just a few weeks ago?
But, like, I had evidence there. Like, I was given things, you know, it was a courtroom. I had access to, like, witnesses and shit.
Successfully defended yourself in a court of law. Ah, I see. She's expecting me to present some conclusive evidence. I have to get Susato-san to believe me. I'll show her some evidence right now that proves I'm not guilty of this awful crime.
It's clearly this, because Kazuma stuck it over the wardrobe doors, but, like, we have it. We shouldn't have it. if it was on the wardrobe doors. I can't remember if they actually showed it or not, but he'll explain it.
Yes!
Tell me, when I was discovered in the wardrobe before, was this piece of paper stuck over the doors? Oh, yes it was. I remember clearly. I thought so. Cosmo always put it in place whenever I went to sleep in there. Just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decided to look inside. So naturally, he did the same last night as well. Ah! Yes, of course! The gentleman who discovered you peeled that sign from the wardrobe doors before he opened them.
There it is.
But if I were truly the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside of the doors on my own. Yes, that's quite true. In other words, it's impossible that I killed Cosima. Well, even if you are sprawled hopelessly on the floor,
Got him.
I can see why Kazuma-sama thought so highly of you. Thank you, Susato-san. Now, do you think perhaps you could help me up? Well, in the light of that evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating in here at least. Thank you. So you finally believe me? I'm sorry. No. What? Really? I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you used some sort of conjuring trick to put the sign back in position.
Some sort of conjuring trick?
You used magic. What does she think I am, a magician? That's what I'm saying, Runo.
We're so in sync.
For now, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as possible in here. I'll do the same. Alright, let's get to work, Susato-san. Please don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts.
You said that already. Oh.
I should be watching you, to make sure you do nothing that might disturb the crime scene. I wouldn't want you using your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example. Right. This chick's crazy. Well, anyway, I should make a start on investigating in here. Examine everything I can. Cosmo, I swear, I will avenge your death.
It was fast. We're over him quick, but I'm not over. I don't want to talk to that guy. We're gonna start all the way over here.
This is... Yes, it's a bell cord contraption, I think.
What do you mean, contraption?
I read about it in a book I was studying that talked about life in Great Britain. Large households often have a bell cord like this, which you can pull to ring a bell to summon servants. Really? Sounds almost magical. Should we give it a little try? Yes! In the interest of cultural research, obviously.
Oh, that's so cute. They actually These idiots!
I suppose nobody comes for lowly Japanese people.
Whoa, Susato! Why else would it be in here? She's got some internalized racism.
No, I'm sure it's just that everyone is busy handling this murder, that's all.
Oh, we really need to fade to black?
Oh dear, that won't do. Oh, what's the matter, Susato-san? Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself so focused I forget to look around properly. Ah yes, that's not good. I don't suppose you're as foolish as me in that regard, are you, Naruhodo-san? I'm fishing for compliments.
I just did this.
Now, let's investigate all corners of this cabin.
Yep, let's do that. Suppose my field of vision has been rather small until I learned how to turn my head.
I think that's some kind of opening for a ventilator. A hole through which fresh air can circulate into the cabin. Isn't that a little odd? What do you mean?
Well, this ventilator, if that's really what it is, damn.
Looks like it must connect to the next door cabin. Yes, it would appear to. You're right. But if its purpose is to allow fresh air into the room, surely it should be connected to the outside. That's true. Perhaps it's so that rain and spray don't find their way in when the seas are rough, or something like that. I suppose. Maybe that's it.
Okay.
Ah, home sweet home. Some 2 weeks since we set sail from Japan. Have you really been living in that wardrobe the entire time, Naruhodo-san? I think living isn't quite the right description. Oh no, I suppose not. Although it must have been rather exciting, making this voyage in your own secret hideout. Trouble was, I never knew when a member of the crew might come in. So, yes, I did basically have to live in that wardrobe.
Do the doors not lock? Like, I mean, she said that she had to get somebody to knock it down, so like, come on. Like, you're gonna be okay, man.
Last night was no exception. But because of that, you had no idea what was happening out here in the cabin. No, sadly not.
Poor Susato, man.
This is where dear Kazuma-sama would have sat whenever he was writing. London Diary. Poor Kazuma. He didn't even make it to his destination. Looks as though those last entry is incomplete. Which means, what? He was in the middle of writing it when the incident happened? Let's see what it says. It could be a valuable clue. Hiya! That's out of the question.
Excuse me?
What? Kazuma-sama may have departed from this world, but you must not read his private thoughts.
But he wrote them down.
But what if it's something important, something relevant to the case? Shut up. All right. I won't read it.
Bet he was writing about how much he likes me. Now I really want to see it.
Poor Kazuma-sama. I don't like prying into people's personal matters either. But in this case, isn't the need for clues more important?
Okay, we'll look at the trunk.
It's a very large traveling case, isn't it?
Yes, it carries a lot of memories for me.
Memories? What do you mean?
Well, that's actually how I stowed away on this vessel. It was brought on board inside that case.
Ah yes, I see it says "this way up" in Japanese. Which in hindsight, I should have realized the foreign crewmen wouldn't be able to read it.
Oh, bless them. They tried so hard.
It's turned over and over and over, and then I was tossed on the floor in here. Oh dear, being a stowaway isn't as romantic as it sounds.
Well, it was pretty romantic for me, if you know what I'm saying. It was less painful than a Susato takedown. Okay. Well, look at this.
Books have fallen over on the shelf, look. They've all been toppled the same way.
Which, normally could be a sign of struggle. That's something to look for. Which to me, but the stuff at the bottom right looks more like signs of a struggle. Just because everything is the same way, and also there's a bar that makes it to where you couldn't swipe over the books as easily, it looks. That's just my, my forensics insight that I definitely am qualified to give. But no, also when it's on a ship, it's a little bit harder to identify signs of struggle because stuff could have just like moved from waves and shit. So like, you can't really know for sure.
And what's this? A statue of some god of the sea? Although he's fallen over as well. Why is he T-posing? Yes, it's almost as if the whole shelf has been ransacked and everything mown down at once. I wonder if... Perhaps it was Kazuma-sama doing his morning sword training, do you think?
No, Susato, I really don't. I'm sorry.
I seriously doubt it. Then perhaps... It was you, Naruhodo-san, in a fit of rage. I wouldn't have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books and a statue.
He's got a good point.
Could the way these things have been thrown about have anything to do with the case, I wonder?
Wait, we have to look at it up close?
Well, I've just set everything straight again. I don't like seeing a mess. Even though I just told you that I wouldn't allow you to mess with the crime scene, I am going to mess with the crime scene. Literally, you can't do that. That's evidence. That's in the... like, he died in here. We can't mess with anything, dude. I'm mad. I'm livid. Oh, thanks for the sound effect. That was really necessary. These are the rules of passage for travel aboard the SS Burya. It's essentially a list of requirements from the captain to all the passengers on board.
Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. What? Why are you staring at me?
Oh, sorry. I was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous object or a pet?
Got him!
I can't decide.
Well, one thing's for sure. Either way, I wasn't supposed to be in here. Is that it? That's all? Okay, that's all I had to say. No, I want to look over here. Sorry, my searching is sporadic, but that's because I know what's important, and I want to look at everything that isn't important first, to make sure we don't miss any dialogue.
There's nothing on this table at all. Plate and cutlery are all over the floor for some reason.
See, again, that looks like a sign of struggle, especially the fact that, yeah, all the stuff on the desk didn't fall off, but the stuff on that table did? It's odd.
Yes, it's strange. Last night when I went to sleep, I'm sure everything was still... No, wait a minute. What is it? That's funny. I can't seem to remember anything about what happened after dinner at all. So then perhaps you are responsible for what happened to Kazuma-sama.
No, no, no! Oh, that's it? Okay.
That's my dinner from last night. Roast chicken. It was really tasty. My friend might be dead, but God, that was some good chicken. Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it? But did you eat it on the floor here?
Oh, bless her. Oh, I love her to death.
I'm not a dog, Susato-san. I ate on the table, of course. Which begs the question of when and how the plate ended up on the floor. But Kazuma-sama didn't like chicken at all, did he?
No, that's right. So he didn't touch it. Which means all the more for me.
Oh no! Does that mean... Poor Kazuma-sama spent his last night on this earth with an empty belly?
Oh, Susie. Oh, Susie.
It's just too horrible.
Now I suddenly have a guilty conscience and an achy stomach. Oh. Seiki? Okay, sure. Japanese word for justice. Brush strokes are straight and true, just like Kazuma. He was a very straight fellow, trust me.
Yes, his calligraphy always was a reflection of his heart. Yet can you really look at those characters without feeling shame, knowing you drew them so thoughtfully?
Of course I can! I mean, I'm innocent, so why shouldn't I be able to?
Even though you stowed away on this ship?
I didn't think you would die! Jeez Louise. Now you're going to bring that up, are you? I can't win. He sounds so pouty for, like, his best friend just getting murdered. Okay, we'll look at all the crap on the... Wait, okay, I can look at the sword. We'll look at the sword.
That's Kazuma-sama's precious sword. He never went anywhere without it.
Yes, he was always saying that a Japanese man's katana is his soul.
I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on this trip.
I wonder why.
I suppose that shows just how important it was to him. And now he's gone. But I'm not ready to let his spirit go just yet.
So sad. It's so sad. It's so sad. Alright. We'll look at the real stuff now.
Did Kazuma write that before he died? Looks like it's written in ink. He must have knocked the ink pot from the desk from when he collapsed on the floor. Then I suppose he wrote this message by dipping his finger in the spillage. For once it's not written in blood. Poor Kazuma-sama. No doubt he was in terrible pain. It's almost unbearable to imagine it. I suppose he was trying to leave some kind of a clue in his final moments, was he? But what language is that? I'm sorry, partner, but I can't read your writing. I don't think that's Japanese, Naruto. Wait, she had to tell us? How stupid are we? What? Oh my god, really? Then what language is it? It pains me to admit it, but I don't know. I wonder if it's Russian. It's not a foreign script I'm familiar with, but what does it mean, I wonder? Who's that? He wasn't there a minute ago. As far as I can tell, it looks like you might be European. Okay, what gave you... What told you that, man? What told you that? Oh! How did he... You've noticed the man too, have you? I'm not crazy, right? Please tell me that guy's actually there. I've no idea who he is or how he got in here, but he looks suspicious. And tall. Suspiciously tall! You tell him. Me, because I'm 5'1". Me looking at anyone. You're suspiciously tall. Naruto-san, don't tell me. Do you really not know who that is? Well, no. I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. Like most people in this time period, I would say. He doesn't look like a member of the crew. There's something very unusual about him. And is he investigating Kazuma's desk, or is he just playing on it? I can't tell. Well, in that case, we simply must talk with him. Am I just imagining it, or does Sato-san look almost uncontrollably excited? By the way, I expect that you've noticed already, but just in case. If you press A on people and they're in the crosshairs, you can converse with them. Thank you. Alright, then I'll get that suspiciously tall gentleman in my sights and see what he has to say for himself. He's the killer because he's so tall. Oh, please do. Okay, Susato, chill. Please talk to us. I need to talk as you. I'm so excited. This is my favorite character. I love him so much. He's so goofy. What the hell is he doing? Oh, I love him. Bless him. Excuse me. Thank you. That was very important that we knew that question mark said ... Excuse me. Do you have a moment? Shh. This is a critical point in my investigation. That's it. Maybe I should leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly. Yes, perhaps that would be for the best. Greetings! I hope I haven't kept you long. Ah! What exactly were you doing on Kazuma's desk just now? Ah, I see. Fascinating. Sorry. What do you see? It feels like he's looking right through me. Oh, yes. Everything is clear now. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive. Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry? What? And now, whilst venturing toward foreign climes, you find yourself in a most troubling predicament. Oh, well that's true at least. But how? How the deuce did I know that, perhaps? It was really a most elementary deduction, hardly worth explaining. Have you perhaps managed to deduce anything else? But of course, a great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madam. For example, you have fled your native land of Russia, being as you are a merciless revolutionary. And Rinosuke's like, shit, how did he get me? How'd he know? You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake and now travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. And when the beribboned occupant of this very cabin discovered your identity, you ended his life too. Yes, I believe that summarizes the fact beautifully. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes. Just to be clear, you are talking about me, are you? Certainly I am. Do you see another in this cabin who fits the bill? A Russian assassin with 16 victims to his name. Oh, I love his sprites so much. It's so good. Not his sprites, his animations, I suppose. Oh, I love him. I don't even see one person who fits the bill. Pull up your hands to look at your handcuffs and you'll see him. So it's true. Susato, you idiot! You moron! Why? What makes you think that's true? You know that that's not true. Oh my god. It was you who did this to Kazuma-sama. What? and you're planning a revolution too. It's shameful behavior, Naruhodo-san. Absolutely wicked. No, listen. There's no way yeah! Again? Now explain yourself. Tell me everything. This is ridiculous, right? Oh, good. Goody. How could you do it? For pity's sake, open your eyes! I'm not a Russian revolutionary! I'm not a Russian revolutionary, obviously! Oh, forgive me. And as for you, what kind of deduction was that? You were just saying the first thing that came into your head. Ah, but was I not right? Must venturing toward the foreign climes, you do find yourself in a most troubling predicament, do you not? Well, yes, maybe. Ha! There you have it, you see. What do you make of that? Well, to be honest, the ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of a murder. So, I'm not really sure you could call it deduction. It's more plain observation. Indeed, an observation, my dear boy, is the basis of all deduction. My method is founded upon the observation of trifles, you see. I announce my findings with a brassy certitude, and more often than not, I'm right. I don't think you introduced yourself. Ah, my apologies. How remiss of me. Oh, we got the goggles off. I am none other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women the world over. The inimitable HERLOCK SHOLMES. And his theme song is perfect. Oh, bless him. He's my favorite. He's a little himbo. He's a little guy. He's just a little fella. So, it's really you? The actual HERLOCK SHOLMES? The very same. The inimitable actual HERLOCK SHOLMES. Do you know this man, Susato-san? The most famous detective in the world? Naruhodo-san, of course I do. There's nobody who hasn't heard of him. What planet have I been living on, then? We must ask him what he's deduced. He will have worked out the entire case already, I'm sure. Really? Why do I feel uneasy about this? So, you're a great detective, are you? Sorry, but what was your name again? Indeed, I am none other than the one and only HERLOCK SHOLMES. Oh, I see. You're German? HERLOCK, was it? That's really good. That's really good. No, I have no hair. I mean, I have hair. Please, call me Sholmes. I'm not balding, I promise. You can read all about my exploits in this exciting London publication. Oh, yes, Rant's magazine, full of wonderful short stories and interesting articles from Great Britain. I never miss an issue. I have it sent from England especially. Ah, yes, here it is. The Adventures of HERLOCK SHOLMES. So, you're the protagonist in a series of short stories, then? Indeed I am. And you've read so many of your own stories, you've started to think you really are a detective?
Oh, I love how everybody just thinks he's an idiot. It's so good.
Make no mistake, I'm not the poor deluded fellow you take me for. Your inference is backward.
Backward? A singular backward.
Backward?
My trusty biographer records my greatest detecting achievements and chronicles them in the magazine.
You have a biographer, do you?
Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson, presently keeping shop in London. Are you sure Dr. Wilson is keeping shop in London? Uh-oh.
Dr. Wilson.
Yeah, Runo gets it. I must say, thanks to that publication, I've been fantastically busy of late. To be fair, Wilson's a pretty, common name, I'd say. It's, according to, you know, how writing works, I'm sure it's not the same person. God. I must say, thanks to that publication, I've been fantastically busy of late. Why, this very moment I am returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of a cursed royal crown.
Really? I can't work out whether I should take this man seriously or not.
No one can, don't worry. Deduction, you see, is to me a science. Logical reasoning in its purest form.
Science? Really?
The astute observer notices even the most subtle of reactions in his subject. A furtive glance, a twitch of a muscle, a slight inclination of the posture, fingernails, arm sleeves, furrows in the skin. All these things are data.
Right.
And the trained logician makes deductions from this data in the blink of an eye. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth. As I demonstrated only a few short moments ago.
How can he look me in the eye and claim that?
He's insane. So you see, I have a turn both for observation and for deduction, and fame! That is what makes me the one and only HERLOCK Sholmes. I love him.
Have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet?
Have I managed to deduce anything, my dear fellow? Who do you suppose discovered the culprit in his most cunning hiding place? That's right. It was none other than the great detective before you now, Mr. HERLOCK Sholmes.
Ah, I see. In other words, I'm in these now because of him. When I became anxious about Cosmo-sama this morning, I summoned all the crew members to force the cabin door open.
And I concealed myself among their number, gaining entry to the scene of the crime. Yes, luckily for everyone, the great detective HERLOCK Sholmes was on board. Of course he was. And the handcuffs seem to be an excellent fit, Mr. Naruto. He's so frustrating. The very moment I laid eyes on the scene, 2 facts were immediately apparent to me.
Oh, really? 2 facts, you say?
Oh, God. Okay.
Mr. Sholmes, tell us, please. What 2 facts were apparent to you when you came into this cabin this morning?
Ah, yes. But first, let us be precise. The 2 facts in question were immediately apparent to me.
Yes, I understand. But what were they?
Allow me to elucidate. The 2 facts that I deduced from a mere momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number 1. The cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit out of the question. Number 2. The victim was Russian and killed following a dispute with an acquaintance.
Hold on, Mr. Sholmes. What made you think the victim was Russian?
Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor. That is the Russian word for wardrobe. I don't even know how I would look that up. I don't want to butcher Russian. I'm butchering it hard enough.
Do you really think Cosmo-sama could have left a dying message in Russian?
No, obviously. In their final moments, many find their native tongue filling their head. For this young man, Russian.
Cosmo was Russian, was he?
Initially, I considered garderobe. Okay, garderobe.
Garderobe, maybe. Garderobe, maybe the name of the killer. A certain Robert Guard, perhaps?
What are you on about, man?
But in the interest of thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong not to look inside the wardrobe there, at least. The one that said keep out on it. It's pretty obvious. Well, you found Mr. Naruhodo sleeping silently. Soundly. Same thing. Actually, he might have been snoring, I don't know. Quite so! I found you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer! Why is it that I'm Russian, too? I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted. And if my memory serves, that outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian people. Is it? Our school uniforms are the traditional dress of the Russian people? I had no idea. And I had no idea a detective could get something so wrong. Got him. I took a photograph of the victim and the message, that I might analyze it for possible hidden details.
Oh, he's gonna show us. Oh.
This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, before the body was removed. Yes, Cosmo had already been taken away when I woke up. This is the first time I've actually seen him like this.
And then they fade back in his music.
Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, yes, thank you.
Oh, and now we have to put it in our pocket. Oh god, that's so sad.
Can I ask you something, Mr. Sholmes?
What, pray?
You mentioned Russia before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary fleeing from Russia and all of that?
Ah, yes, the train of reasoning that led me to the truth.
Would you mind explaining that train of reasoning to me, do you think?
Kohei-ho. Certainly, if it interests you.
How many times? I'm not Russian, and I don't speak Russian! Can we talk about your deduction before? Things you concluded about me, I mean.
Ah, the now famously accurate troubling predicament you find yourself in.
Actually, it was the other details that I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary and assassin of 16 part?
Ah, yes, the more sordid details. It was a fairly commonplace deduction. Here we have this morning's paper. The main headline reads... Yeah, he looks exactly like that. Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. This vessel made a port call in Shanghai yesterday, and last night the young Russian was murdered.
Since when was Cosmo Russian? Sounds like Mr. Sholmes has concluded he was Russian because of what Cosmo-sama wrote on the floor.
It was a simple act of reasoning to realize that the culprit of this crime was the same merciless revolutionary. One who would kill the very man who helped him to escape after his true identity was discovered. Yes, you, villain Bolshevik.
No, how could it be me? I don't look anything like this man, just look at his face.
Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well. Oh, please. And, I might add, your name does not appear on the ship's passenger list. Need I say more? Well, that's because I'm a stowaway.
What about the other details? 16 victims of assassination and blowing up the Crystal Tower?
Ah, yes, the journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all those particulars in the article. How? Okay. The deeds the man has perpetrated thus far and those he is plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik was included. There can be no mistake.
Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with newspaper reporters, I wonder?
That's what I'm saying, Susie.
And what about the part where you said I was just returning from Afghanistan?
Also quite clearly stated here in the article. Bolshevik has recently returned after a period of subversive activities in a war-torn region of Afghanistan.
Where even is it, anyway?
This Afghanistan place. Oh, poor he doesn't know geography. Don't worry, neither do I, man.
Here, take the paper for yourself, as a little memento of this great deduction. Oh, thank you. I've absorbed all that is of interest to me within its pages, but I see no rubbish bin nearby. He's absorbed it. And you may find the article on the back page to be of interest as well. On the back? You know, the front of the back of the card is what is of interest, as you say. Ah, ha 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 ha! Cast your eye over it sometime if the interest takes you, though you may need someone to interpret. It's all written in Russian. I couldn't hope to read it. I suppose it wouldn't hurt just to glance at the article. Maybe there might be a picture or two. Okay, in other words, it's telling me, look at the damn article. Alright, I'll look. Look, there's a picture. This is interesting. Have you found something relevant, Naruhodo-san? Well, no. I mean, it looks like it might be interesting. I can't read a single word, I'm afraid. No, nor can I. But look at this picture. Perhaps it's about a beautiful young Russian princess, do you think? She is very pretty, isn't she? I suppose you enjoy articles like this, do you? I don't know. I can't make any sense of it. Ah, I'm glad you've noticed this article. Ah! I like to think that he shoved her out of the way. Ah, I see you've noticed. She's in the corner now. Allow me to give you a short summary of its contents. I didn't know HERLOCK SHOLMES spoke Russian. Oh, thank you. He pops up everywhere, this Mr. SHOLMES. It's about the disappearance of a young lady last night. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novik Ballet disappears from Shanghai. Okay, prima ballerina of the is it Novik or Novovich? I'm assuming it's based off of Novakovic? Novakovic. Okay, so it is a CH, if that's what it's based off of. Okay. Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. During a performance in Shanghai, the famous dancer was reported missing. She is, of course, the talented young Nikolina Pavlova. Why are Russian names so hard to remember? Hey, damn. It would appear the woman was in costume when she was found to be missing from her dressing room. What? No, that just means the costume is gone. Wearing the diamond tiara you see pictured, which is worth some 20,000 rubles. Oh, how much is 20,000 rubles? I have no idea, but I'm quite sure it must be an unbelievable sum of money. That's what I'm saying. Citizen's eyes are shining like diamonds themselves. The tiara is the property of the Novovich Ballet. It would seem the director is beside herself with worry. She doesn't care about the little girl. She cares about the prize. The money. Yes, I'm not surprised. The company is most anxious to recover both Miss Pavlova and the valuable tiara. They've requested international assistance at all ports with sailings to Great Britain. Could this be another case of a Russian fleeing his or her country? It does seem to be the Russian thing to do. What is that supposed to mean? I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, Mr. Naruto. Yeah, that is the correct response. Before we started talking, you were examining Kazuma's desk, weren't you? Kazuma. Ah, yes, the victim. Did you notice anything useful? Anything at all? Observe for a moment the desktop of the victim. What? Desktop? Those don't exist yet. We see that the victim was engaged in penning some text. London diary. Kazuma was keeping notes of the trip. Ah, but I don't think you should read his private writings. It could upset people. Tragic! And something you ought to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading. You mean you've read it already? It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes, believe it or not, I know a smattering of Japanese. Why does he know a smattering of He is so smart. Like, he's a himbo, but he's so smart. Oh, I see. Well, you're about to know what a Susato takedown is. Sato-san? Aren't you going to throw the detective with one of your trademark takedowns? I like how he's looking at him while he says that. I'm sorry, Naruto-san. What on earth do you mean?
If he wasn't pretty, she would have thrown him. Just saying.
Life is so unfair.
He's got pretty boy privilege. Anyway, to return to the matter at hand, namely this diary belonging to the victim. It would appear the final sentence is incomplete, as if the author were cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of the writing? Pray be precise as to details. Pray be precise as to details. Good grief, why was that the hardest thing I've ever read? I could do tongue twisters yesterday, but I can't read. Pray be precise as to details.
Oh, but I thought you knew Japanese.
A spattering, dear boy, a spattering. Sayonara, bonsai, mikedo, nado, nado. I trust you're suitably impressed. Oh, everything was wrong. This diary is littered with complicated-looking characters, of which I can read precisely none. Oh, I love him. Oh, I love him. He's such a cute little guy. So what was all that showing off about before then? It's just who he is, man.
If you'd be so kind as to show me, I would be happy to read it to you, Mr. Sholmes.
She's got her little celebrity crush. We all know it. I'm much obliged, my dear madam.
The final entry here in Kazuma's diary consists of just 2 short sentences. The first reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. A whistling sound?
These are very deep waters. Pray, go on.
The second sentence reads, 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? What on earth does that mean? I have no idea. I've never heard that expression before.
The ventilator grill, you say? The man was presumably referring to the lattice there on the wall, which connects to the adjoining cabin. Yes, the adjoining cabin. Oh. So, I believe I've given you enough to consider, for the time being at least.
Ah, do you have somewhere to go?
As it happens, the victim's writings in his diary have piqued my interest. The matter wants further investigation, I believe. And if I am still too long, the seasickness takes hold. Oh, I love him. Oh, I love him.
Oh, I suppose you're thinking of investigating the cabin next door, which the ventilator connects to?
Great detectives are a curious breed. Our minds rebel at stagnation. We crave mental exaltation. Why was that so hard to read? His voice is hard sometimes because he speaks very quickly. So yes, I intend to investigate, and the truth will become clear soon enough.
Do you think perhaps we could go with you?
No, that would be somewhat complicated.
What? But why?
A simple glance at your wrist should reveal the answer. Oh, these. After all, you're the prime suspect in this matter. No.
There's no point trying to turn it into a question. You're the one who decided I was the culprit in the first place.
Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of naming you as the culprit at any point. This idiot. He's such a dumbass, I swear. You must be joking. You just said it only a moment ago. Dear me, you are clearly misguided. I would have no cause to say such a thing.
Actually, Mr. Sholmes, I did hear you say that too.
Yeah, let's use our magic rewind to Y history button. You're the prime suspect in this matter, no? And he's out of it. He's off his rocker. You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange. I wouldn't have said you had the face of a criminal, you know. Not
Really? So what, were you looking at my knees before? Some great detective you are. Well, anyway, that was then, and this is now. It's been 5 seconds, man. What do you mean? Well, okay, no, I need a better delivery of that one. What do you mean? What I mean, sir, is this. If you are the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate. Ah ha 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 ha! Now he's just being plain rude. Let the little Scrumblow have his fun, alright? The little crinkly-do. And off he goes, having just laughed in my face. Sense of humor is as twisted as his name. Naruto-san, what are you just standing there for? We must go and investigate the cabin next door as well. Aren't you forgetting something? What about these? There's no way I can— Hi-ya! Fourth one's the charm. After Kazuma-sama spent his dying moments struggling to leave us a clue, you're willing to give up? You're just going to roll over and accept your fate? As if you gave me any choice in the rolling over part. I think we still have an investigation to finish off in here first, don't we? Let's carry on examining what we can in this cabin while we wait for a chance to slip next door. Good idea. Situation doesn't look good for me, but there are still things I can do to help myself. And I owe it to Cosmo to do everything I can to find a way out of this, and bring the real culprit to justice. I don't think there's much else that needs to be done in here, so I'll finish it up and then we'll leave. I think all I have yet to look at is... oh shit. Yeah, okay, it's just this and the, soldier. Sailor. What do you think this is? It's like a broken piece of glassware. Whatever the thing was, it appears to have broken clean in two. The glass is such a beautiful color. Looks like a cute little Netsuki fastener from a kimono outfit. I think. Netsuki? Netsuke. Netsuki. It's probably Netsuki. I don't know. It'll be fine. I'm not sure that sounds like Kazuma. He wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little trinket like this around with him, would he? That's some toxic masculinity right there. And a mark beside it. What is it, I wonder? It has a sort of brick-like hue. Yes, you're right. It is the color of a brick, isn't it? Even though I don't see anything of the same color anywhere else in the cabin. Excuse me. What? What? Oh my god. I'm so sorry. I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. Would you mind if I investigate a little outside? Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes, but is not true, I see. Sorry? The criminal asking prison guard to help him escape? Very funny. We're in the middle of the sea. There's no chance of me escaping. Niet! You stay in this cabin till next port. Then it is up to Hong Kong police to decide what they do with you. You stay! Alright. There's no point trying to appeal to this man's better nature, that's for sure. Wait, is there something else to look at in here? I thought... oh, the door. I thought that they were the same. When I went for help and the crewman forced the door open. This bolt had been firmly closed. It's quite a small bolt and not particularly sturdy. It just slides across to secure the door shut. But still, with the door bolted, there would be no way to get in or out of this cabin, that's for sure. It's no wonder everyone suspects me. Maybe I did do it. When she glares at me like that, I feel tense all up and down my spine. I remember reading once in a detective novel. The culprit used a needle and thread to draw a bolt across from outside the room in a situation like this. Yes, that's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself. But the door of this cabin and its frame are made of metal, and they seal together perfectly. There'd be no possibility of using that needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid. When she glares at me like that, I feel pins and needles all up and down my spine. Oh! Oh, look over there. The crewman, do you mean? He wasn't there before, was he? That's what I thought. Why don't we try talking to him? Probably because I'm likely to get yelled at again. But I suppose I could try.
Yeah, I guess we will talk to the mysterious crewman in the next one. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I did a decent job. I tried really hard with my voice acting there at the beginning. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a like and a subscribe, please. So, thank you for watching, and goodbye.